Today we're going to be doing a DIY rooting hormone so we can get some more of these blueberry bushes. I have these cuttings going pretty well now, so I could turn this one blueberry plant into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blueberry plants. And I still have a few cuttings on here that I can make, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking some aloe vera, some organic cinnamon, and some raw honey. And that's what we're going to use to make our rooting hormone to get these blueberries to root. Now, blueberries are a little finicky at times. Most people will tell you that you have to use a rooting hormone on these, but you don't have to buy it. It's all right here in these natural products, and most of this stuff we have around the house. We're gonna call it about 2 tablespoons of our aloe vera. So we're gonna cut off here. We're gonna drop the aloe vera in some water. And what that's gonna do, that's going to help us get rid of some of that aloe, which is like a yellow latex that oozes up out of the aloe vera. Cut the ends off of there. Drop that in the water. Do the same thing with this one. We're going to drop that in some water, and we're going to let that sit for a while. Then we're going to just take a little mason jar. We're going to put about a tablespoon of our raw honey in there. We're gonna put about a tablespoon of our organic cinnamon in there. And we're gonna mix that aloe vera in there. And we're just gonna basically skin that. And then we're going to scrape that off in there. That's going to be our rooting hormone. Put on some gloves here. We're going to take all this out the way because we don't need this. And then we're going to bring this up. And these are some more of the cuttings that we rooted. And they've been in here about 4 months. So what we have in here is peat moss and sand. Pop them out and see what we have here. That's 2. Look at all those roots on there. This one is excellent. I couldn't have got much better than that. Excellent roots on it. A winner there. This one has good roots on it also. So these 2 here we're going to say are good to go. So what we're going to do is go ahead and pot these up. And this mix right here, this is my go-to for any of my blueberry bushes. And if you come look closer to here, you'll see all of that mixed in there. That's 50% peat moss, 25% compost, and 25% pine bark nuggets. That's our mix for our blueberries. And then what I'm gonna do also, we're gonna take some of our alfalfa pellets and we're gonna mix that in. That alfalfa pellets has a compound in it called tricontinol. It's a stimulant, and that's gonna give our cuttings a good head start. We're gonna take this one, throw it in there, just sit it up top. Get all the air pockets out. That's one down. Get our other one. This is a good acidic mix. Put it down up in there. And do the same thing. We're just going to get the air out of it. And that's 2 more. Let's go ahead and put this mix back in here, and we'll have that for later when we do our new cuttings. So we'll get this off of here. And all this is a 50-50 sand and peat moss mix. This is all I use to root my cuttings. Go over here. What I try to do with my blueberry bushes is keep them kind of like in an upside down umbrella motion. I want at least 4 nodes in my growing medium. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're basically going to strip those off. And I'm going to cut off the leaves because we're not trying to grow leaves here. We're trying to grow roots. And I do that all the way up. And then I take the bottom piece and I just scar it a little bit. See that? Just scar it a little bit. You see, we're going to dip that into our rooting hormone. We want to get that all over the nodes. But if you come over here to these, you'll see at the tip here, it'll start to grow a branch outside of it. Where you see the purple leaves here, all of that's new growth. All of these, remember when I cut those leaves? Again, the same thing on this one. This one actually grew an entire branch coming out of the side. All of that's new growth. This is the actual old cutting. You can see where I cut those leaves at. Same thing on this one. You see where I cut those leaves at? And then it sprouted from the top. All of this is new growth from this year. And you can see the same thing with these. They'll either sprout here or at one of these nodes coming from the side down there. We're gonna come back over here to our sand and peat moss mix. And we're just gonna stick those in there. We're gonna go all the way down. Same thing. We wanna get as much as that rooting hormone as we can. And then we're just gonna go and stick that down up in there. We're gonna take some of our water, and that's just to get these soaked in pretty good. And this is the perfect project to do during the winter time. Because this is peat moss and sand, you don't have to worry about the fungus gnats. So we're gonna be able to take this inside and put it in a warm location. But I gotta give the New Orleans gardener a big shout out on this, because while I was up in the Dollar Tree, I happened to see these little domes, and I had to look at my 1-gallon planters, and I was like, okay, that looks pretty good on there. So I'm gonna try this. But what you have to do is remove this ridge going around the sides. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And you may have to go all the way up to this little notch right there. And look how well they fit onto these. That's perfect. And we're gonna take this inside. Now you can put this on a heat mat, but it's really not necessary. You do not want direct sunlight on these. But that's pretty much it. It's pretty much that simple. This is the one thing that I get most asked about of all of my videos, and that's my blueberries. Here we're in the heart of December, and look at these babies. They're putting on flowers like crazy. One of the best things about having these blueberry bushes in your garden is they're one of the first plants to bloom coming out of winter. But look at these beautiful fall colors on here. And we can go down to this one as well. And this is a first year plant. And look at how healthy it is. Now remember, these are first year plants. Look how huge these things are. All these purple branches coming up, all of that's new growth from this year. And that's all attributed to that 50% peat moss, 25% mini pine bark nuggets, and 25% of my own personal compost that I make. So if you want to see how I make that compost, make sure you click that notification bell, because I'm going to be giving you the details, everything that I put into my compost. I've been getting a lot of requests on that, and that's going to be thermal biological compost. So until the next time, keep growing out the box.